out through the trail. High heel to the field. Plus got them Gucci nails on. Real cute still. And that's my damn girl too. Ain't no cute deal. Got the movies and crazy superheroes. To the jacuzzi like Selma. And if you need me, I will raise in the deep end. I need my body, I got a lazy female. I want the gang, I want the money. My drum, it's no damn black. It's no damn black. If you want to go back.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Mount Vernon High School, home of the Ben Gordon Alumni Gym. Today we have the White Plains Tigers versus the Mount Vernon Knights. This should be an exciting game. Interleague rivalry. These two teams are getting ready for the playoffs, so sit back, enjoy the game, and we'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. My name is Dwayne Brown. I'm with my co-partner, Isaiah Groves, a.k.a. Axe Isaiah. Isaiah, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, man. Just ready to see Mount Vernon win.
That's what's up. So let's give a little insight about today's game. I know you did your research for me. I know you know the ins and outs, so give me a little bit of information about these two teams today.
Well, Mount Vernon comes in with a 12-3 record. They've been dominating, especially over the last couple of games, really locked in defensively. They're coming off a 72-62 win against rival New Rochelle, in which they outscored New Rochelle by 19 in the second half. So with that said, they're going up against a White Plains team that's 10-6. And with this particular matchup, Mount Vernon has to continue what they've been doing. They have Charles Lovett, who dominates on the perimeter, and then you have Troy Humstead on the inside. But then you have veteran leadership from Joel Cooper and others that provide the stopgaps defensively and make it very difficult on teams, especially in the second half, to get into their offense. So if Coach Semino's team continues to dominate defensively and utilize efficient offense, they should come away with a good victory.
And White Plains, you got any brief scout on them? I know they're 10-6, but you know how they've been playing, what they got to look forward to?
Well, more so than anything, when you're dealing with these type of games, it's always going to be a rivalry game. So you get up for these particular opportunities. For Mount Vernon, at least, they just have to continue to knock down key shots. With White Plains, they're going to try to run, which fits Mount Vernon's style, obviously, because they're so versatile. They have depth against everything. But Mount Vernon has to be careful not to go too fast and get caught up with turnovers. You give a team like White Plains easy opportunities to get in the offense, then that's where you see what we saw against New Rochelle. You get far behind and you have to work your way back into the game.
Well, you heard it from Isaiah, Mr. Isaiah Rose, a.k.a. Axe Isaiah. So if there's anything about high school sports you need to know, you need to check my man out. So, Isaiah, call a good game. I see you after the game, and good luck today, right?
Most definitely.
Well, Mount Vernon, like I said, I'll be right back. My name is Dwayne Brown, and today I have the honor. As I walked in the gym and saw him, I was at awe because I do what I do because of guys like you. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome special guest, longtime Mount Vernon announcer, Mr. Gil Chimes. How you been, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? You took over the role, huh?
I took over the role that you started, foundation. So I'm just happy to be in your steps right now.
Well, the good thing about you're dressed nicely, just like we used to.
I learned.
And I learned how to dress like a slob now.
Well, you retired, you can relax. So you know what I mean?
Tired, but very tired from this stuff.
So you're tired from this, so you can relax. So how you been? You been good?
Everything is great. Great. I haven't had a chance to see the kids this year, so I found some time today and figured I'd come back and take a look.
Well, that's good.
Thrilled to see you.
Hey, I was thrilled to see you. So it's even. We're doing good. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Mr. Gons, you announced championship games, all kind of games. What do you miss the most about announcing and being in this building?
Announcing and being in the building.
I mean, why not, right? Why not? Might as well.
It was a thing, ironically, John Larkin, who was a teacher here, got me involved with this when my kids were still in school here. I happened to be at a football game at our Memorial Field, and I walked in to watch the game. They said, oh, the public address announcer isn't here. Can you do that? I never did that, but in my experience, I'm up there. Also, there's a knock on the door, John Larkin. Gee, I love what you're doing. You got to do the basketball. I haven't done this. You want me to do that? And then, so we started. My son Gil was in school here, my daughter Monica. So we started with my camcorder, a microphone, and we started doing the girls' games. That became so popular. Then we started doing the boys' games. Out of that, we established the TV studio here at the high school so that guys like yourself and kids like yourself could move on and do great things in this industry. Ironically, I was shooting a pilot down at HBO one day years ago, and I go into the place, and the guy who's running me, you're Gilcha? Yeah, somebody wants to see you. One of the kids, young lady who graduated from this department with Jeff Corsella, was working at HBO. That was one of my biggest thrills, to see that you kids could progress, and now the studio is fabulous.
Yeah, studio's fabulous. And working with us live, Mike, no card, nice camera. So technology and times has stepped up. But, I'm a true believer you don't get to those points unless you have a foundation. So I want to thank you for planting the foundation and keeping it going. So
a basketball player or a football player, and we really got to thank John Larkin because he's the guy that he kept after my kids. I want your father to do this. I want your what the heck, we'll take a shot. And then we established this whole thing, Dr. Zollicoffer and I, and we had a great time. I'll tell you, went up to Glens Falls. I mean, we did
All
the whole
over.
bit. Right. And it was a pleasure.
So thank you. Mount Vernon, you're looking at a legend right here, a legend.
Keep the tradition going.
I'm going to keep the tradition going. I don't know how long, maybe not long as you, but I'm going to do something to keep it going. I'll make sure I pass it on to the right person. How about that? All right, so thank you for spending some time with me. See you later.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mount Vernon High School and the Ben Gordon Alumni Gym, home of the Knights, for today's Section 1 AA boys basketball game between the White Plains Tigers and the Mount Vernon Knights. It is the objective of Mount Vernon Athletics, Section 1, and the New York State Public High School Athletic Association to have today's game contested in the most sportsmanlike atmosphere possible. The officials have been instructed to tolerate absolutely no unsportsmanlike conduct from the players. We ask you, the fans, to help us reach our objective by conducting yourselves in a sportsmanlike and respectful manner. Thank you very much for your cooperation and enjoy the game. Now, will you please stand, remove your hats, and face the flag on the wall for the playing of our national anthem.
13, Matthew Melismanaj, senior.
2-2, my name Nazir Davis, junior.
Number 2, Joel Cooper, senior.
Number 23, Damon Scott, Jr.
Number 15, Nigel Harris, Jr. Number 35, Julius Cobbs, senior.
Number 14, Sebastian Daly, and I'm a senior.
Number 32, Thomas Brooks, and I'm a senior.
Number 3, Charles Lovett, Jr.
Number 11, Christopher Farron, and I'm a senior.
Number 31, Jovan Young, and I'm a junior.
Number 33, Orlando Dawkins, and I'm a junior.
Number 30, Troy Hupstead, Jr.
Number 24, Elijah Harris, senior.
Number 21, Selwyn Paul, junior.
I'm number 1, Urban Patrick, junior guard.
Welcome to this Mount Vernon City broadcast of Mount Vernon Knights basketball. We are on the men's side here, home of the Knights, Ben Gordon Alumni Gym. The Knights come in with a record of 12-3 over their most recent victory against the New Rochelle Huguenots, a 72-62 victory here at home, with their outscored New Rochelle by 19 points in the second half. With that said, they will have to go up against the White Plains Tigers, who come in with a 10-6 record. Head coach Spencer Mayfield led this team to a most recent victory against Ossining. So this should be an exciting matchup. Mount Vernon looks to continue their winning streak, consistently performing, especially here at home. They're on an 8-game winning streak, so Mount Vernon will look to just continue torrid scoring. I'm Isaiah Rhodes on your broadcast tonight, so let's get started. And on the tip-off, Mount Vernon was unable to win the tip. White Plains wins the tip. At the rim, shot by Keon Burns, no good. Mount Vernon able to get out and run. With the basketball, senior Joel Cooper gets it to Urban Patrick. Patrick works at the top of the key. Gets it to Cooper on the right wing. Dawkins inside to Humstead. Humstead looks to get a shot. He has it deflected. Cooper saves the loose ball. 10 on the shot clock. Working in the corner, gets it to Charles Lovett. Lovett has to get a shot. A floater is good. So Mount Vernon breaks the seal of the game, up 2-0. On the attack, Jayon Norwood gets a floater, so now the game is tied at 2. Cooper dribble handoff, gets that from Patrick. Urban Patrick pull-up jumper, no good. And Troy Humstead can't finish the putback. Urban Patrick looking to finish the jumper, he can't finish. And now Keon Burns able to get out and run for White Plains. Number 2, Isaiah Murphy pulls off a 3, no good. Outlet pass from Humstead, couldn't quite get it to Patrick. And they're fighting for the basketball. We got a jump ball, so there was some physicality there. Either way, it should have been a foul called on Mount Vernon or White Plains. Referees let it go, so the physicality is accepted here today. 6:03 remaining in the first quarter. Patrick with the basketball looks to get it by Tamir Green. Able to get it to Lovett. Lovett on the left side. Top of the key. Humstead looking for Dawkins inside off the glass. And Dawkins gets his first basket. Just to give you the starting lineup for White Plains. Number 0, Keon Burns. Number 2, Isaiah Murphy. Number 5, Jayon Norwood. Number 10, Joe Carrier. Number 11, Tamir Green. So we got a foul against number 2, Joel Cooper. So I give you the starting 5 for Mount Vernon. Number 1, Urban Patrick. Number 2, Joel Cooper. Number 3, Charles Lovett. Number 30, Troy Humstead. Number 33, Orlando Dawkins. First free throw for Norwood is good. Coming into the game for Mount Vernon is number 14, Sebastian Daly. Norwood misses
He's second, so 4-3 Mount Vernon lead. Cooper Euro step, tries to get it off the glass, can't finish. And trying to get that rebound was Joe Carrier. He couldn't get it, so possession stays with Mount Vernon. Fresh shot clock. As Daly tries to get into the paint, has it stolen by Isaiah Murphy. What a pass from Murphy to Carrier. No, excuse me, that was to Tamir Green. Tamir Green with that finish. So now White Plains takes a 1-point lead. In and out. Cooper looked to go baseline, but they said, excuse me, that was Urban Patrick. Urban Patrick looked to go baseline. He stepped out of bounds. So possession goes back to White Plains. In this particular matchup, White Plains will look to get a lot of points off turnovers against Mount Vernon. So Mount Vernon has to be careful to manage that basketball. Shot by Green, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Mount Vernon. Green gets his own miss. Kicks out, able to kick it out to Murphy. Murphy looked to drive to the paint, but a foul is called. Personal foul called against Sebastian Daly. On the inbound with the basketball, Jayon Norwood. Norwood able to get it to Murphy. Murphy misses the shot, and Daly going coast to coast, takes contact, and we get a charge. They call it a charge on Daly. Daly could have gotten that and one there. The refs felt he was a bit out of control. So with the change of possession, now White Plains with the basketball. Quan Burns able to get it to Murphy. Great defense from Patrick, cutting off that baseline. Murphy still goes baseline, tries to get the scoop layup, he can't get it, and the stalwart inside, Troy Humstead, able to corral it. So we get a travel called against Joel Cooper on the gather for that three-point attempt. So turnover is mucking up the game here for Mount Vernon. But it's still a one-point game, 5-4. White Plains leads. 4:23 remaining. I'm Isaiah Rose broadcasting for Mount Vernon City School District here at Ben Gordon Alumni Gym, home of the Knights. Murphy, pull-up jumper, almost traveled there. They don't call it, but White Plains unable to finish inside. Mount Vernon on the run. Love it. Gets it to Cooper. Pull up three. Can't quite get that three to fall. White Plains tries to get it up ahead. Euro step call, and we got a charge. So Quan Burns called for the charge there, so the referees are consistent on both sides here when it comes to the charge call. Coming into the game for Mount Vernon is Nigel Harris. Harris came up huge in the second half against New Rochelle, especially late in that fourth quarter, coming up with steals and key deflections to preserve possessions for Mount Vernon in a close game against New Rochelle. Dawkins looked to drive inside, kicks out to Lovett. On the baseline drive, we got Humstead. Humstead called for, able to draw the foul on the floor. That personal foul is called against Quan Burns.
Zero. What number? It's 2. 2-on-2.
On the inbound, Lovett. Looking to get it inside to Humstead. Humstead couldn't quite handle the pass, but he saves it. Pulls up for a jumper. Unable to get it to fall. Inside. Patrick couldn't finish the layup. Fighting for that rebound is Lovett, and we have a change of possession as Lovett couldn't keep his feet inbound, trying to corral that offensive rebound. So 3:24 remaining. Mount Vernon and White Plains, quite honestly, struggling for points at this point, but a great defense on both sides. Murphy on the in and out, Tried to get it inside, stolen by Harris. Harris looking to go coast to coast. A bit out of control, trying to get it to Patrick. Murphy at the rim, scoop layup is good. As he had to contort his body to avoid the block from Humstead. Isaiah Murphy gives White Plains a 3-point lead, 7-4. Backdoor cut from Lovett, as there's a miscommunication between Patrick and Lovett, so another turnover for Mount Vernon. Coming into the game for Mount Vernon is Selwyn Paul. White Plains tries to get a shot up. Taking that shot is Norwood. Norwood couldn't get it to fall. Mount Vernon pushing the pace. They look to slow it down and run through it. Half court, Paul with the basketball, gets it to Lovett. Lovett drives baseline. Kicks it to Harris. Back to Paul. Paul attacking the paint. Draw contact, no call. Dawkins able to corral a miss and score. So 1-point game once again. Mount Vernon trails 7-6. Murphy guarded by Paul. Paul goes baseline. Good cutoff by Selwyn Paul to stop Murphy and turnover by White Plains. Love it. Looking to draw that foul there. They don't call it, but possession stays with Mount Vernon. Baseline out of bounds, inbound to Humstead. Humstead looks to turn. Tried to get it to Lovett. The ball scurries off the rim, so turnover by Mount Vernon. Murphy looks to be taking every shot. Outlet pass, great outlet pass from Humstead to Lovett. So Lovett now with 4 points.
Move the ball.
Trying to get a pass inside was Joe Carrier. A bit out of control there, so he scored for the charge. So Mount Vernon now with the basketball in the lead, 8-7. Both Charles Lovett and Orlando Dawkins have 4 points each to give Mount Vernon their 8 points at this juncture in the game. We approach a minute remaining first quarter. Charles Lovett takes his first three, and the three is good.
Go, Charlie!
Great defense from Lovett there, preventing Norwood to turn that corner cleanly. And pull up for a response three is Tamir Green. He couldn't knock it down. So scurries out of bounds. Possession goes to Mount Vernon.
Your turn.
11-7, 44 seconds remaining. Paul with the basketball. Gets it to Harris. Harris takes the screen from Dawkins. Off the glass, Harris can't knock it down. Fighting for that rebound. Possession stays with Mount Vernon. 32.6 seconds left. Because the ball hit the rim, it'll be a near fresh shot clock. 33 seconds on the shot clock. Paul saves it. Kick out to Lovett. The three from Lovett is good. Stolen by Lovett. Great deflection from Julius Cobbs. So shot clock is off. 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Mount Vernon up 14-7. Lovett looking to set up a shot at the end of the quarter. Step back jumper from Lovett. No good. Fighting for the rebound is Dawkins. Couldn't get it. And Green tried to get the outlet pass, but it's deflected. Great defense from Mount Vernon, especially on the latter part of that first quarter. So we go into the second quarter. 1 minute intermission. 14-7 lead for Mount Vernon. I'm Isaiah Rose. We'll be back. Stay tuned. start this second quarter, Mount Vernon leads 14-7. Some key shots down the stretch from Charles Lovett created some separation. Mount Vernon up by 14. Great steal there potentially from Paul. Couldn't get it, but they're making it very difficult. Fighting for that basketball. We got a foul called against Paul. Great tenacity there from Paul to make it very difficult at that half-court line. It could have been a number of things. It could have been a travel, could have been a jump ball, it could have been a backcourt violation. But White Plains retains possession. Norwood tries to cross over against Harris. Very difficult. Kick out to Carrier. He gets it back to Murphy. Isaiah Murphy draws a double team. And we get it to Carrier. He basically traveled there, no call. Norwood corner three is good. Jayon Norwood gets the score to 14-10. Paul attacking, looking to get into the paint. Gets it to Harris. Harris off the glass. The basket is good. Into the game for White Plains, Paul Sevchek. Carrier looked to take Humstead off the dribble, couldn't do so. Norwood draws inside, goes to Isaiah Murphy. Murphy looks to kick out to Carrier. Pull-up jumper is good. So 2 3-pointers from White Plains has cut Mount Vernon's 7-point lead to start the quarter to 3, 16-3. Into the game for Mount Vernon, Nasir Davis. Inside, Julius Cobb, the basket is good. At the rim, shot no good for White Plains. Big rebound for Julius Cobb. Paul looked to be calling for a screen. Instead, they go to Humstead inside, contact, and he couldn't quite get the foul, but the physicality was overwhelming. So a foul was called against Mike Mayeri. First free throw for Humstead, no good. Coming into the game is Matthew Melismanaj, as well, number 13. And the second free throw for Humstead is good. That's his first point of the game. Another turnover for White Plains. Melismanaj with the basketball. Looking to get to Lovett. Lovett tries to go to the left corner. Cutoff gets to Melismanaj, top of the key. Lovett for three. In and out, the three didn't fall. Murphy, cut off by Davis. Great defense there, cross-court pass with the basketball. Sevchek couldn't get the shot. Humstead looking to get an outlet. He gets it to Lovett. Lovett working the right sideline, looking to set up Davis. Davis gets into the paint. Jumper is no good. Fighting for that rebound is Humstead. Coming away with that rebound is Jayon Norwood. Euro step, avoids contact and is able to score. Cobbs looking to get a high-low pass inside. And Humstead is called for the 3-second violation. In that particular situation, Cobbs could have took the jumper or he could have got it to Humstead inside for a basket. But the turnover has prevented Mount Vernon from building on their lead. It's a 4-point lead right now, 19-15. We approach 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Pull-up jumper for Norwood, no good. Rebounded by Cobb. And gets it to Lovett. Love it, looking to push the pace, gets into the paint. Floater inside is good. So we got a timeout called by Coach Spencer Mayfield. Not necessarily happy with what he's seeing defensively from the Tigers. So we'll be back. I'm Isaiah Rose, broadcasting from Mount Vernon City School District. Stay tuned. Start coming out of that timeout. White Plains with the basketball. Sevchik has to get it to Norwood in that right corner. They reset it to Murphy. Isaiah Murphy, guarded by Damon Scott. Scott able to draw that travel against Murphy. So great defense by Damon Scott, number 23, who just entered the game for Mount Vernon. 21-15, Mount Vernon leads. Scott with the basketball, right wing, faces a trap, and it's stolen. Great defense there from the Tigers. Sevchik gets it to Norwood, right corner three is no good. Great rebound from Cobbs, giving Mount Vernon great energy off the bench on the interior. Love it, look to set up an in and out. He goes to Scott. Scott had a shot, he goes to drive baseline. Dawkins off the glass, the basket is good. Mount Vernon up 8, 23-15. We approach 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Norwood guarded by Melesmanach. Sevchik guarded by Lovett. Carrier looks to drive into the key. Kicks out to Norwood, driving kick three is no good. Rebounded by Cobbs. Lovett looking to get into the paint. Left hand off the glass, the basket is good. Timeout called by Coach Semino. Mount Vernon up by 10, 25-15, 2:44 remaining. I'm Isaiah Rose, broadcasting for Mount Vernon City School District. Stay tuned. No, I'm writing it. I'm writing it.
Who's that girl next to you, Donna? Is that Donna?
Hey! How are you, honey?
What's up there,
So out of the timeout, there's a foul, personal foul called against Joel Cooper, who re-entered the game.
Oh, you are here?
So he picks up another personal foul. That's Mount Vernon's 15th foul. So I have to be careful of not getting into the penalty. Sevchik making it very difficult to get a shot. Sevchik pulls up from three. That was a great closeout there by Christopher Ferron. Just unable to get to it fast enough. So 25-18. And the three-point shot has really kept White Plains into the game. Harris looked to kick out to Lovett. 2 minutes in the first half. Lovett couldn't get the floater. Murphy trying to get inside. Blocked by Dawkins. Great athleticism there. And great IQ to read the defense. He and Harris working in concert to make sure that shot didn't hit the rim.
Who got new? Mike? Got a new one.
So coming out of the game is Isaiah Murphy for White Plains. Murphy has been asked to carry a lot of the offense for White Plains. He and Jayon Norwood. Sebchek, who just knocked down a three, guarded by Harris. Kick out, three-point shot for Carriere is good. So another three-pointer for White Plains, who hasn't been able to get out and run, but their three-point shot has forced Mount Vernon to extend defensively. What a pass. Farron at the rim takes contact and is able to score. So Mount Vernon up 6 as Christopher Farron coming up big off the bench. At the rim, Sebchek with a basket. So back and forth we go now. Davis able to get it to Lovett. He gets it across the timeline to Farron. Davis thought about a three. Good IQ there. He gets it to Humstead. Humstead tries to go baseline and it's stolen. So we got a two-possession game, 27-23. Sebchek tried to get it to Green. They're working around a key. The three-point shot, no good for Carrier, rebounded by Harris. Harris crossover dribble, couldn't quite get it. And Norwood at the rim, and he slams it home. So the White Plains contingent giving them great energy here in Ben Gordon Alumni Gym. It's a 27-25 game. The later game called against White Plains. But with that said, Harris gets it to Davis. So shot clock is off, 27-25. Humstead can't quite get it clear in the post. Love it with the basketball, top of the key. He clears out, looking to get a shot off. At the buzzer, the three is no good. And Humstead at the buzzer, the basket is good. So big time basket there to create some separation for Mount Vernon. 29-25, Mount Vernon leads the White Plains Tigers, who are here to scrap and fight. I'm Isaiah Rose, broadcaster for Mount Vernon City School District. We'll be back after the 10-minute intermission. Started the second half. I'm Isaiah Rose, broadcasting from Mount Vernon City School District, home of the Knights, Ben Gordon Alumni Gym. The Mount Vernon Knights lead the White Plains Tigers 29-25. The Tigers have been able to exploit Mount Vernon's turnovers, but with that said, you get great performances from Charles Lovett. And now Mount Vernon increases their lead to a two-possession game, 31-25. Great defense from Mount Vernon. They don't know what attacking. Couldn't finish that layup. Rebounded by Humstead. Troy Humstead able to man the interior. Love it. Pulls up from three. Doesn't fall. Another foul. Watch it back. Norwood trying to attack, get downhill. The three-point shot from Isaiah Murphy is good. And I mentioned the ability to exploit Mount Vernon's turnovers, along with getting out and able to set up shots quickly and generate offense. They've been able to knock down the three-point shot. So it's a three-point game. Joel Cooper scores. Joel Cooper known to score in the second half. Known to score in the second half, came up huge against New Rochelle, coming up with a big layup there. White Plains comes away with a turnover though, and Norwood can't knock down that three. So Mount Vernon looking to build on a 5-point lead. Spin move from Cooper, deflected. That was a great deflection from Isaiah Murphy. Cooper has to go to the bench. On the inbound, love it. Looking to find Harris instead. It goes to Dawkins, and Dawkins comes up huge in the paint there. 35-28, Mount Vernon leads. Murphy looking to kick it out, but he's called for a charge. Great effort defensively there by Dawkins to sacrifice his body and prevent Murphy from getting inside.
Did we start the man exodus before?
Homestead looking to get a Euro step inside. He can't finish that layup. And Dayon Norwood comes away with it. Able to get it to Green. Floater from Green. In and out, no good. And a basket inside by Norwood. So Norwood and Murphy have been asked to carry the offense for this White Plains team. They've done so valiantly. It's a 35-30 lead. At the rim, Homestead able to score. So Homestead now gets his points up to 5. Behind a back dribble from Norwood. At the rim is Dawkins to try to contest it. Dawkins couldn't finish that block, so Norwood scores 5-point game. Dawkins inside, has it stolen by Norwood. And Murphy picks it up, gets it to Green. Green for 3. Big time 3 from Tamir Green. And now we have a 2-point game, 37-35. Coach Bob Firmino not happy with what he's seen from his Mount Vernon offense. So 4:48 remaining here in the third period. We'll be back. I'm Isaiah Rhodes, broadcasting from Mount Vernon City School District. Stay tuned.
My nephew's a referee. Last year he did.
So out of that timeout, Mount Vernon up by 2, 37-35. The White Plains coming back strong here in the second half, knocking down key 3-pointers to cut into this deficit. So Mount Vernon has to execute a lot better. Love it, looking to work it around the key inside, trying to go to Homestead. Urban Patrick's pass is deflected. So we have 11 seconds on the shot clock. Mount Vernon has to get a quality shot off here. Try to increase their lead to a 2-possession game. Mount Vernon trying to get it inbounded to Charles Lovett. The 3-point shot is good. So as great as White Plains has been, Mount Vernon coming up with huge baskets to create separation. Urban Patrick gets on the floor, and he gets it to Orlando Dawkins for the 2-hand slam. Big time dunk from Dawkins. They're trying to generate some momentum here. Mount Vernon able to draw that charge. Great effort from Orlando Dawkins, not only on the offensive end, but defensively. Here in his third quarter, taking 2 huge charges to create more separation. Mount Vernon with the basketball and a 6-point lead. Homestead able to catch that pass, tries to get to the rim. Contact, the basket is good from Troy Homestead. He now has 7 points. At the rim, Norwood able to score over the outstretched arms of Troy Homestead. A timeout called by Spencer Mayfield and White Plains. We'll be back. 43-37, Mount Vernon leads White Plains. 3:36 remaining in the third quarter. So out of that timeout, Mount Vernon with a 6-point lead. Back and forth we go. Nigel Harris into the game. Love it with the basketball. Love it right now has 18 points here in this game, and we have an offensive foul. Offensive foul called against Homestead. So turnover from Mount Vernon out of that timeout. 3:16 remaining in the third quarter. And Murphy could have knocked down that three. Lovett tried to get that rebound, but it was deflected out of bounds, so possession stays with Mount Vernon. Lovett with the basketball as they get it across that timeline. Harris going to Homestead. Homestead takes contact, and we got a blocking foul. So big time basket from Homestead there. He's starting to turn it up here in the second half. He now has 9 points and has an opportunity to go complete an M1. Dawkins got that M1. Green able to kick out, and that basket is good from Keon Burns. So 45-40. Nigel Harris able to get that skip pass, and at the rim, Patrick takes contact, still able to score. So now the offense is picked up on both sides. Green thought about a three, instead goes to Isaiah Murphy. Murphy attacking, scoop layup is no good. It rattles out of the rim, it was almost down. So Mount Vernon up by 7. Love it with the basketball, known to be a sharpshooter. Could increase this lead to double digits. Instead goes to Nigel Harris. Harris, pull-up jumper, it's good. At the rim, Homestead is called for the foul. Great attack at the rim for Jayon Norwood. Now Julius Cobbs has to come in for Homestead, who's starting to get in foul trouble here. Cobbs, in his early action in the first half, provided great interior defense and picked up some huge rebounds from Mount Vernon down the stretch. Homestead has to come out of the game 49-41. Well, Cobbs comes in for Dawkins. So that's fairly surprising, but I think more so than anything, Coach Amino is showing trust in Homestead, especially when dealing with foul trouble. This is a good teaching moment to keep Homestead in the game. 1:44 remaining in the third quarter, 49-42. Mount Vernon leads White Plains in this highly contested game. Harris looking to get into the paint, instead dribbles it, gives it to Lovett. Lovett faces, quick trap, able to kick it to Harris. Harris tries to get a shot up, it's blocked. Great block by White Plains. At the rim, you got a layup from Tamir Green. So we have a 5-point game, 49-44, and we approach a minute remaining in the third quarter. Patrick working the right wing. Great defense from Isaiah Murphy. Able to get that handoff. Trying to get it to Cobbs. It's Charles Lovett. Inside, Humstead. Humstead takes contact. No call. They finally give him a foul call there, so he'll be going to the free throw line. That personal foul is called against Mike Mayeri. First free throw is good for Humstead, so now he enters double figures for Mount Vernon. Both free throws good for Humstead, so now he has 11 points and Mount Vernon back up by 7. As they work at the top of the key, Mount Vernon trying to prevent the pass there. Are they calling a foul? Wow. They call a tough foul on Humstead. 46.3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. So now Dawkins has to come in for Humstead. Humstead picked up his scoring in that third quarter despite the tough fouls. He picked up, so 46.3 seconds remaining, 7-point game. Down Norwood with the basketball, able to get it to Murphy. 3-point shot is no good. Big rebound for Mount Vernon, unable to come away with that.
I'm yelling at him. I'm yelling at my guy. I got you. Come on. Okay, hold him. Come on. Am I allowed to coach?
So now, Mount Vernon with the basketball, 51-44, 30 seconds remaining. Irvin Patrick setting up a topic. There's about a 2-minute differential between shot clock and game clock. Charles Lovett slows it down. Known to get a lot of key baskets at the end of quarters. Looking to get a shot up. Crossover dribble at the rim. It's deflected. Dawkins goes straight up, has it blocked. And Green trying to get a shot up with 1 second left. Murphy can't quite get it in. So we go into the fourth quarter. Mount Vernon up by 7, 51-44. 1-minute intermission between third quarter and fourth quarter. I'm Isaiah Rose, broadcasting from Mount Vernon City School District. Stay tuned.
All right, yeah, we have a winner. We have a winner.
So to start the fourth quarter, Mount Vernon up by 7, 51-44. White Plains, despite being a bit overmatched talent-wise at times, they're fighting consistently. And one of the better players on the White Plains side, Jayon Norwood, has been putting immense pressure on the Knights, especially in the paint. He and Isaiah Murphy have really been tasked to carry the offense as facilitators and scorers. But with that said, it's a 6-point game now, 51-45. So Norwood will be asked to carry an even heavier load in the latter parts of this game. Obviously, it's still a close game, so down the stretch, Mount Vernon has to key on him if they want to pull out this victory. So both free throws good for Norwood. And coming back into the game is Troy Humstead. Humstead has picked up his scoring, especially in that third quarter, but he had to deal with a lot of foul trouble. And as I said, Jayon Norwood comes up with a huge basket, so we have a one-possession game. Big time still off that inbound. One-possession game, 51-48. Cobbs trying to get inside to Humstead, and the basket is good. 13 points now for Humstead. Trying to go baseline as Norwood. He kicks out to Green. floater for Green is good. And on the outlet from the inbound, love it. At the rim, he can't finish the layup. Uncharacteristically misses that layup there. And a three-point shot from Murphy is good. So we now have a tie game, 53-53. Big time outlet pass to Isaiah Murphy off of the miss from Lovett. 53-53. Trying to get it inside to Homestead is Javon Young, number 31, who just recently entered the game. So Mount Vernon is going to be in for a tough matchup here in the last 6:45. Game tied at 53. Young with the basketball, trying to get it to Irvin Patrick. Patrick gets it to Homestead. Homestead faces up, attacks. Off the glass, the basket is good. So Troy Homestead coming up huge in the clutch now. Now it's 15 points. A turnover by Young. And Young at the rim, can't finish. Put back by Patrick, no good. That would have been a big momentum swing there. Murphy for three. Three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Norwood. Three-point shot for Green, not there. Rebounded by Young. So Young coming up with huge rebounds down the stretch here. We approach 6 minutes remaining. And timeout called by Coach Semino, just to emphasize execution these last 6 minutes. Mount Vernon in for a tough game, but they should be game. 55-53, 6:02 remaining. We'll be back. So out of that timeout, Mount Vernon had to come up with some key baskets here to create some separation. White Plains is just not going away. So when Paul gets it to Lovett inside to Homestead. Homestead has to get a skip pass to Cooper, and we have a turnover here. We call it a 3-second violation. So Mount Vernon still with a 2-point lead, 5:44 remaining. Paul Sevchik, guarded by Paul. Sevchik able to draw that foul against Paul. So Dawkins able to get it inside to Sevchik. A great back tip there by Paul to prevent an easy layup. And there was a miscommunication between whose ball it was. It was White Plains' ball, but they gave the inbound to Mount Vernon. And Homestead able to. We get a timeout called by White Plains. So as they adjust whose basketball it was, it is White Plains basketball. Full timeout, 5:31 remaining. I'm Isaiah Rose broadcasting from Mount Vernon City School District. here at the home of the Knights Ben Gordon Alumni Gym. Mount Vernon on the men's side comes in with a record of 12-3. They're going up against a White Plains team 10-6. So over this last 5:31, we're going to see who will be able to come up with a huge victory. We'll be back. White Plains basketball, 28 on the shot clock, so the refs do figure out whose basketball it is. And that was almost a 5-second violation there by White Plains. Norwood, guarded by Homestead. Norwood kicks it out, they're working around the perimeter. Keon Burns has it stolen by Lovett. Lovett on the fast break, the left hand layup is good. It's a big time basket for Charles Lovett in the guts of the game. 2-possession game, but we have a foul. As that personal foul called against Dawkins. 57-53. At the free throw line is Keon Burns. First free throw for Burns is good. Both free throws are good, so back to a 2-point game. We have 5:07 remaining. Right wing Selwyn Paul gets it to Cooper. Cooper with the basketball gets it to Paul. Paul in that left corner, back to Cooper. Cooper gets it to Lovett. Lovett looking to set up a shot. 14 on the clock, kicks out to Paul. Paul for 3. Couldn't knock it down. Rebounded by Burns. Cooper hits the floor. Great defense there by Paul. Paul and Lovett. Great back tip there by Paul. That personal foul called against Selwyn Paul. So now Mount Vernon is in the first penalty. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Isaiah Murphy. Murphy's first free throw is good. He is the front end of a 1-and-1. Second free throw is good. So the game is tied at 57. Paul has it deflected. Fighting for that basketball is Lovett. Lovett has it stolen. Great steal there by Cooper. And Joel Cooper on a fast break at the rim. Contact, and we get a charge. Wow. That was a questionable call there. So 4:13 remaining. So 4:13 remaining, game tied at 57. Mount Vernon trying to create some traction and some separation. White Plains just will not go away. Deflected by Dawkins, and it's stolen. Big time steal there. Great deflection by Dawkins. Personal foul called against Paul Sepchik. So Mount Vernon one foul away from getting White Plains in the penalty. We have 4 minutes remaining. Game is tied. Mount Vernon on the 8-game winning streak, trying to maintain. White Plains is not going away. Dawkins has it deflected, stolen by Norwood. Norwood makes the layup, and White Plains up by 2, 59-57. Turnovers coming back to haunt Mount Vernon. What a pass inside, and great finish from Troy Humstead. Game tied at 59. White Plains with all the momentum. Mount Vernon has to get a stop. And a stop comes by Charles Lovett. Lovett trying to tightrope the sideline, steps out of bounds. So White Plains gets the possession back. It's a new shot clock because they say Lovett had full possession. So it'll be a timeout by White Plains. As I said, they won't go away. Mount Vernon's turnovers are coming back to haunt them here. 3:13 remaining. It's a full timeout for White Plains. We'll be back. Isaiah Rose broadcast from Mount Vernon City School District. Stay tuned. So 3:13 remaining. Nigel Harris into the game, guarding Paul Sevchik. Harris known to come up with huge defensive stops, trying to prevent Sevchik from getting it to Murphy. Oh, what a shot. And a big-time basket from Keon Burns with the pullback dribble. Step-back jump is good. So 61-59, Mount Vernon trails. Cooper trying to get it inside to Dawkins. Dawkins able to corral it and score. So big time basket from Orlando Dawkins. Mount Vernon keeping pace with White Plains. And we got a 3-point shot from Norwood. The 3 is no good, rebounded by Mount Vernon. So you get a 61-61 game, 2:20 remaining. Charles Lovett with the basketball. Has to come up with a key play here. Pulls up for 3, no good. Skying for that rebound is Norwood. Sevchik working at right wing, gets it to Norwood. They're working around the perimeter. Norwood wasn't quite ready for that pass, able to corral it. Dayon Norwood, 20 on the clock. And they call a blocking foul, wow. So they call that personal foul against Nigel Harris. And this is where the inconsistencies come in at times on both sides in terms of coaching staffs asking the refs to be consistent with some of these block charge calls. We got 1:53 remaining in the quarter. Game is tied at 61. We'll be back after this brief break. after that brief intermission and they had to clean up the court, De'On Norwood knocks in that first free throw to give White Plains a 1-point lead. We have 1:53 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Second free throw is good, so 2-point game. It's still amount of time, but Mount Vernon has to execute down the stretch. White Plains up 2. Irvin Patrick with the basketball. Gets it to Cooper. Cooper looking to get it to Patrick. Patrick looking to set up Cooper. Cooper right wing 3. Can't fall. So Isaiah Murphy facing a quick trap from Mount Vernon. Almost stolen there. Great pickup from Mount Vernon. White Plains content with utilizing clock here. You can look in the eyes of Charles Lovett, very intent on coming up with a big stop defensively. Murphy has it stolen, but it goes out of bounds, so 11 on the clock. Coming into the game for Mount Vernon is Nasir Davis. So we have 11 on the clock. Mount Vernon's in the penalty. The next foul will be the double penalty. And on the inbound, Sevchik hits Davis in his sensitive area trying to inbound that basketball. Davis appears to be okay, but if you're a young man, anytime we get hit in that area, it's not pleasant. Murphy for 3, no good. Big time rebound there by Joe Carrier. And we are under a minute remaining. White Plains up 2. 55 seconds remaining. Sevchik with the basketball, guarded by Davis. Davis has to try to guard Sevchik. The 3-point shot, no good. 3-point shot, no good by Keon Burns. 47 seconds left. Mount Vernon down 2. They get it to Lovett. Lovett with 34 on the clock. Davis, right wing, and Mount Vernon calls a timeout. So Mount Vernon able to come up with the big defensive stop. Now they have to execute. 31.6 seconds left. Mount Vernon on a 8-game winning streak. They come up with a record of 12-3. They've been able to salvage many games with great defense whenever their offense hits a drought. Tonight, they've been trying to create some separation against this 10-6 White Plains team, and White Plains has just simply not gone away. They've come up with huge 3-pointers throughout this game, and to their credit, they've been able to exploit Mount Vernon on key turnovers. In the second half, you saw Mount Vernon go by as many as 7, and they tried to look like they were running away with the game. But as I said, 3-point shots from White Plains, some tough foul calls, especially calls against Mount Vernon, has killed a lot of their momentum in a lot of senses. And now they have to figure out how to come up with a huge basket here with 31.6 seconds left. A lot of their go-to guys are always Charles Lovett, Troy Humstead. Humstead has 17 points. He's come up with 14 points here in the second half. Charles Lovett has 20 points, but he's been relatively quiet in the second half. He carried the burden of the offense there in that first half. So we come out of the timeout. Coach Semino has drawn up everything he has to do, let his teammates know. And on White Plains side, they're focused on getting the key stop. So 31.6 left. Nasir Davis will be inbounding from Mount Vernon. Davis has to get it in. He gets it to Lovett. 13-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Cooper with the basketball, working the left wing. Jab step, tries to go baseline. Gets it to Harris. Harris off the glass. The basket is good. And timeout. Timeout called by Coach Semino. Game is tied at 63. Big time basket for Nigel Harris. So that's a 30-second timeout call by Coach Semino. Great poise there from Joel Cooper to find Harris despite the pressure driving to the left baseline. Harris, cool and poised, able to bank that in off the glass. So with 16.7 seconds left, game tied at 63. White Plains has done everything they can to win this game tonight. They've been playing with each other. They've been moving the basketball, coming up with huge rebounds down the stretch, knocking down the three-point shot, and that's why, despite Mount Vernon's talent and overwhelming record at times, this team has not gone away. So, Coach Spencer Mayfield trying to make sure he employs his team's emphasis. Whatever principles he has set for them, they have to execute it down to the T. And if you're Coach Semino, you're locked in on every shooter you see. This White Plains team has knocked down key three-pointers throughout this game to not only cut into Mount Vernon's deficit, but to build a lead here in this fourth quarter. With 16.7 seconds left, game tied at 63. With the basketball, Tamir Green, guarded by Harris. Green gets it to Isaiah Murphy. Murphy guarded by Joel Cooper. Murphy has to get a shot up. 5 on the clock, pulls up for three. It's good! Big time three from Isaiah Murphy. And it's 66-63. Big time basket from Isaiah Murphy. But it appears to be, so they adjust the time. So it'll be 2 seconds on the clock for Mount Vernon. Can they come up with a miracle here? 2 seconds on the clock. That was a big time three there from Isaiah Murphy. While in a timeout, Mount Vernon looking to tie this game. You get 2 seconds remaining. They got to get a shot up. They get it to Harris. Harris gets it to Lovett for three. No good. Considering the situation, you get 2 seconds remaining. Mount Vernon comes up with a great play out of that timeout. It was on line for Lovett. It just didn't fall. So White Plains comes into Mount Vernon, able to upset Mount Vernon, break their winning streak. Mount Vernon was on a 8-game winning streak. Now Mount Vernon falls to 12-4. Despite the loss, Charles Lovett had 20 points. Troy Humstead had 17 points despite foul trouble, especially in the second half. Big game from Orlando Dawkins, who had 12 points as well. Unfortunately, Mount Vernon just wasn't able to stop key three-pointers down the stretch, and sometimes their turnovers came back to haunt them. The big-time three-point shot from Isaiah Murphy propels the White Plains Tigers to an 11-6 record. Spencer Mayfield had his young Tigers team ready and focused, and they were able to pull off a huge upset. So we'll be back with more throughout this season. I'm Isaiah Rose, broadcasting from Mount Vernon City School District. Stay tuned for not only the men's side, but the women's side as well. Thanks for tuning in.